What's going on, y'all? Shout out to the LDVC. It's your boy Fight Critic here to give you guys another video. And I just want to kind of get this video out of the way, mostly because even though it is not official, the Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia fight, it looks like it might happen. I mean, I'm not really one to put mostly a huge investment into guys talking about they're pushing for fights or rumors because this is boxing and a fight could be good to go one day and then completely fall apart the next day. So I'm not going to put much stock into previewing this fight or giving my quote unquote prediction. But either Ryan Garcia clearly has a death wish, or this might be the fight that Ryan Garcia is either leveraging to get himself away from Golden Boy Promotions. Or maybe it's Golden Boy Promotion just trying to figure out if this is the fight that they're trying to cash in on Ryan Garcia. Because ultimately, I don't see any way why he should be fighting Gervonta Davis at this point in his career. I think it would make more sense for Ryan Garcia to continue to fight, guys who were ex-champions or, become, a mandatory challenger for a title and see where he could take that. I don't think it makes much sense for him right now to step into a ring against, a guy who's been a two-weight champion and Gervonta Davis. So when I look at what this fight could look like, it just looks like to me that Gervonta Davis is going to absolutely destroy Ryan Garcia. Now, of course, I could be fucking wrong about this, but I don't know why they would throw Ryan Garcia at this point into the ring with Gervonta Davis. I think a lot of it has to do with what's going on with the sport in terms of COVID, and you need a way to justify the needs of using funds to put fights on, considering Golden Boy does have some sort of agreement still with the zone, despite the fact Canelo has left. I'm also seeing a lot of people that are not involved with these two parties hate on this fight. You're seeing Bob Arum, who is saying how much of a one-sided fight that this is, and that he should be fighting, other guys, or he's basically trying to agitate one side, especially Golden Boy, to be like, well, Ryan Garcia would never get into the ring with Teofimo Lopez. I would be saying the same thing about the Lopez Garcia fight. This is just a fucking death wish for Ryan Garcia. And then, of course, you have Eddie Hearn, who's like doing his best to talk up a Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia fight. And that fight is a little bit closer, in my opinion, just because Devin Haney, as good as he's been, he's still a guy who, in my opinion, has still a lot to improve on. He's not as much of a finished product right now in comparisons to Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Davis. But this kind of goes to show you just how much in demand Ryan Garcia is due to his appeal and his ability. In my opinion, I think this is probably going to sound a little like kind of foreshadowing, but if you got this amount of like different really powerful people in the sport, throwing their name in on a kid this young who hasn't really, become a world champion and X, Y, and Z, then that tells me that Ryan Garcia kind of has a lot, of leverage. And at the same time, it kind of shows me that should his career be guided in a specific way, he might be the guy that becomes the face of the sport at some point, And in many ways, probably even a little bit better than Canelo, considering that, Ryan Garcia, he speaks English, he's American. So when I look at, this expected fight, I don't know if it's Golden Boy trying to ruin Ryan Garcia before he really like takes advantage of his likeness and appeal, or I don't know if it's just that they believe in him so much, because people said the same thing on Leo Santa Cruz's side, and we saw what happened to Leo Santa Cruz. And Gervonta Davis, as much of a flawed individual that he is, if it's one thing that he does is he enjoys beating the living shit out of people. And I remember Gervonta Davis was in this spot, back when he fought Jose Pedraza, and I picked against him, and he made me a believer. And maybe this is that fight that does the same for Ryan Garcia, in my opinion. Maybe this fight against Gervonta Davis will make me a Ryan Garcia believer.